Hi, Patricia. How you doing? Okay, thank you so much for contributing to our discussion. I want to take a look at your presentation here. The first thing I want to mention is the actual presentation itself. The infographics are pasted above the preceding infographic, so we can't really see the entire infographic. So, for example, this air marshalling signals has almost half of the poster is missing because of this is placed over it, the chocolate chip cookie. Conversely, this 40 little things that you can do to break your creative block, I would love to see that, but we can't. All we can see is the first little line there. So plus it's so small, it's really difficult to see anything on there. So my recommendation in terms of presentation is whenever you're presenting something as a student or a graphic designer, always make it as easy as possible on your viewer, so that your viewer doesn't have any questions or doesn't leave your presentation thinking, boy, I wish this were done or wish that were done. Again, the point here is to try to make things just as easy as possible for your viewer to look at the work. Okay, so the infographic I want to address is this one right here. And one of the things that we talk about in infographics is making a complete artifact. So in other words, make a complete set of information. So, and do so in a way that pertains and adheres to the principles of good infographic design. So the reason I bring this up is because this infographic, I think here, it starts out pretty neat. It starts out pretty effectively. It's pretty neat. It's inviting. I think it's a little bit of a lack of color using this monochromatic color palette. But nonetheless, I think that the first half of it is pretty interesting in that we are giving all of the ingredients and showing where they pertain to the actual cookie itself. Then I think what happens is it just kind of immediately and abruptly stops and goes into a verbal recipe. So my question is this. What would you do? How would you improve this infographic, specifically the recipe area, in order to make this a little bit more compelling in terms of in terms of consistency between the top of the poster and the bottom of the infographic? So what could you do to present the recipe in an infographic style as opposed to just giving this textual recipe? And number two, do you think it would be more effective if we did such? Now, keep in mind that statistics show time and time again that retention rates increase exponentially if information is presented both graphically and described textually. So is that effective in this case? And again, the question I'd like you to address here is how can we increase the effectiveness of this infographic by presenting the recipe in a way that coincides more and is more consistent with the top of the infographic where the ingredients list is. Okay, yeah, really looking forward to seeing your reaction on this. So go ahead and respond to that question in your response here. And again, thanks so much for contributing to our discussion, and I'm looking forward to your response. All right, great. Thanks, Patricia.